Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 163. As with this kind of like whole streak of videos, this one is done after the fact, not significantly after the fact, so I'm still pretty aware of everything. But if I miss something, that is my apologies. Try not to do this too terribly much, but sometimes it happens. Anyways, let's jump into things, shall we? So, we've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of movements going on. We're taking a lot of losses from horrors, from astral corruption, which is just this is probably my least favorite thing in the game. Probably not this game, the entire game. It's just, I've spoken at length about why I dislike astral corruption. And I think, generally speaking, I mean, I might have stronger feelings about it than some people, but I think my feelings are generally consistent with the overall opinion of most players. Astral corruption is just, it's a pain in the ass, because it is very, very powerful for blood nations, and it makes it to where other nations can't do anything. But that being said, we are continuing to try to do things and seeing how it goes. So, we'll go through a bunch of this stuff, and I'll talk about some statistics later. So first and foremost, we have a Lich get attacked by 3 float cats and survives. Float cats, you know, not very, when it comes to horrors, they're not super killy and they're not crazy survivable. Kind of the weakest or weaker end of the horrors. So a Lich getting them pretty good, but keep in mind they still did kill 22 skeletons that the Lich summoned. So we have a Bone Reader has gotten popped. So this is unfortunate. This is our Bone Reader in our capital. Our Bone Skull Staff. Boyo. He is. He's our Shademail Hauberkin maker, and we actually have him all defended up with Inky's Chosen. He can't bless them, but they're still, you know, even unblessed, they're still tanky, hit relatively hard, etc. The only issue is they're up against a bunch of Belly Maw horrors, and Belly Maw horrors are very, very killy against, you know, regular troops. Maybe not against like a super combatant or something like that, but a whole bunch of attacks, magical attacks, etc. Now, if we had been blessed, if we were able to bless these guys in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it might have gone okay. But as it is, just doesn't quite work. If we'd had a couple of rounds go better for us, then maybe we would have gotten it. But no dice. No dice. We get attacked by an Abomination of Desolation. That's a instant loss. We'll just go through this quickly. We get hit by some Spine Membrane Horrors. These guys do the Mind Blasts, so even though we had 9 Inky's Chosen here versus 2 of them, they just get... I guess they also have Ethereal, and we do not have magic weapons inherently. Even if we did, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Still unfortunate that we don't just get... I mean, you know, Ethereal is just a 75% chance to miss. You know, the fact that we didn't get a 25 in any of these is really unfortunate. Like... Really? That's like, that's really bad. I mean, I guess it's also 11 versus 13, so that sucks. You would think maybe, I mean, we probably attacked a good a good 20 times there and not getting... We should have probably been able to pop them. 21 damage? Maybe not instantly pop them, but it didn't look like we got a single hit. Anyways, Hunter of Heroes takes out a King of Magma. No! So we have Ruax that we brought over here for the express purpose of trying to be a good fire caster, preferably in combats, but also for things like Flames from the Sky, right? But unfortunately, Ruax has been horror marked for quite some time and been getting worse and worse attacks. And now we have Rarku, the Hunter of Heroes, who is just kind of a badass. And pops on us, and instantly does a bunch of damage. My goodness. Yeah, just in like a single turn, just does a shit ton of damage to us. Points, 11 points. But we do hit him back. I think the big issue here is going to be that he has life drain attacks. And he has a very, very high chance to hit. Whereas we do not have life drain. We have regeneration. Right? But I think he just does too much damage for us. Special monsters are routed. Oh, okay. We won. Oh, do we age death? Really? Wait. Oh, I totally... I don't know if if my mind just freaked out or what, but I thought when we were on this screen previously that it showed that we lost, but never mind. We won. Okay, cool. Great. Oh, never mind. Okay. So, Ruax gets attacked twice. And the second time he gets attacked by the first time he gets attacked by the Hunter of Heroes. The second time he gets attacked by Urmor, the Eater of Gods. And he smacks the shit out of Urmor. Don't get me wrong. But I don't even know really what got us there. An overview. $22 points, 33 points of damage. Damage roll 17 plus 13 versus prot of 0 to 3 of the King of Magma. 27 points of damage. Why? 0. Oh, these are all armor negating. Okay, well, that's... I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do against that. I guess that's why he's the Eater of Gods, is because he has 4 25 attack value, 20 plus damage, armor negating claw attacks. I I guess if you have like defense value in like the 30s or something like that, you can reliably avoid him. Or maybe if you have really like a good repel build, maybe that, because these are all claws, they're length 0, right? Maybe you can just repel him. Wow. Goodness gracious. Alright, well, we lose Ruex there. We summon some Kusarikus. We lose a Gudu to a Defiler of Dreams. We summon more Kusarikus. We lose another Gudu to some Brass Claw Horrors. A hostile spell was stopped by the Astral Dome, which is good. More Kusarikus. More reanimation. More Kusarikus. We cast a spell in order to try to dispel, I think, trying to remember, I'm pretty sure we tried to dispel Astral Corruption here, just to see, right, like maybe he put it up with a very, very low amount of blood slaves, but that seems to not be this. Or I mean, he might have put it up with a very, you know, not a large amount, but a, you know, mediocre amount. We just did not invest very much. I think we put like 10 or 15 or something like that into this dispel, so. A horror, oof, this one sucks. So, if you know what we're doing right now on this turn, we this Umu Apkalu 6 gets jumped by a regular horror. Right, don't get me wrong, regular horrors are big boys, but I'm so used to, like, on my god and on other people, I'm so used to dealing with bigger things like Hunters of Heroes and you know, like fucking super regenerating one, etc. Right? Like other like Doom horrors. Blanking on the name for them. That to lose a big unit, like an Apkalo, to something like a regular horror just kind of hurts a bit. I hate the AI does this type of shit. There's no reason the AI should do this. There's no reason that the AI should go, oh, this monster has all magical attacks. Let me cast Body Ethereal, which would only offer me protection if he had no magical attacks. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, bless yourself and your blessable troops, maybe, you know, or put, you know, you have base 1 natural protection, put Iron Skin up, you know, like. Wait, body, and then he starts casting Body Ethereal on the rest of the units again. What? And that's frustrating to me. So he casts Body Ethereal, he casts Body Ethereal again, then he casts Confusion, then he moves into melee with the horror, and he just loses because it's horror. And he's not really that strong. But he absolutely, like, if he had put Iron Skin on himself or Regeneration or something, you know, plenty of other options. Or just, like, I don't know, tried to Soul Slay the thing. Like, it's a horror. It doesn't have, I mean, I guess it's got 20 magic resistance, but it's not insurmountable at all. It's just, it really sucks to lose something like this. Even if it had simply, like, blessed himself and the Kusarikus, because he easily could have done that. He's a 2nd level priest. That would have probably have gone significantly better. But is what it is. Is what it is. We cast some Forces of Darkness. We did a Cloud Trapeze, and got for it. We did another Cloud Trapeze. Summoned some more Kusarikus. This Gudu got for that Kusariku. A whole bunch more Cloud Trapeze. We're going to see a whole lot of that this turn. More Curse of Blood. This Cloud Trapeze got intercepted by Spine Membrane Horrors and killed. Infernal Tempest, more Kusarikus. Lich 29 did a Lichcraft and got killed by Spine Membrane Horrors for it. We cast a Mind Hunt, but Dustheart managed to resist the spell. Unfortunate. And more Cloud Trapeze. And the last Cloud Trapeze gets got by a Lesser Horror. So, we had a really bad time of it with Horrors this turn. We had 14 encounters with Horrors. We lost 12 of those encounters. We successfully... We succeeded on 2 encounters. And of those 2 encounters, of the big ones, we lost an Enkidu Shaman, we lost Ruax, our King of Magma, we lost like 2 Liches, we lost a Apkalu, and we lost a bunch of Gudus, right? And we lost our Shademail Hobberkin maker, which is actually kind of rare for us. So that's unfortunate. That's really not. That's really bad for us. Really bad turn for us. And then we have all of our battles. So let's blitz through these real quick. We have a couple of our air raids that we're doing. We had 2 air Gudus land on 2 vampire lords. Let's just watch how this goes. We have the slightly updated kit of Mistform first, and then Air Elemental, which does leave us fatigued, but it also means that if something gets to us, like cavalry or something like that, we have a much better chance of surviving. So, get our second wave in, and they come in and are easily able to take out the vampires. So 2v2, easy win. Next up, another 2v2, easy win. We've got a 3v3, same thing, easy win. In fact, actually probably easier, because the initial 3 makes it very easy to take out particular chunks of units. We do get landed upon, but like I said, this one didn't do a Mistform, so that could have been a little dangerous. But Mistform again makes it to where the undead are very unlikely to be able to get us. Getia, we did 4 versus 1. I'm not sure why we did this. Must have just been a bad interpretation of the 1. Yeah, that's just my bad. And then we get Magic Phased in Greenwoods. We have Lanka lashing out against some of our Air Gudus to success, and that is unfortunate. So he does a Wailing Winds, but it's less the Wailing Winds that is important. The Horror Harmonica is all well and good because it autocasts Wailing Winds. But the thing is it gives you Call Horror. And Call Horror, which I think is kind of horseshit, right? Like, it gives you the spell Call Horror without having to require Blood Slaves. And without having to require fatigue. Like, I feel like all it should do is let you cast Call Horror if you don't have the right... Obviously, like, if you have the right paths, you can already cast Call Horror, right? I feel like items that aren't auto-casting spells, they're just giving you the spell, shouldn't just let you cast that spell for free, right? There should still be a fatigue cost to it, but that's not the way that it is. So this item, in my opinion, is super busted. This is probably one of the best legendaries, uniques in the game. And it's just because it allows you to get around this type of situation. So this pairing a golem with you know, a Starshine Skullcap, being able to teleport with a Ring of Returning, and the Horror Harmonica is just super strong. But it's only as strong as it is because Call Horror because with this they can do Call Horror without having to worry about the fatigue cost and stuff like that, and it's nigh impossible to do anything about it. Short of having your own like teleporting squads, but even then, right? Like the thing is, it's really hard to do anything about it. So he's gonna call some horrors, and he calls a fucking Defiler of Dreams in, and an actual horror, and another actual horror, and it's just, jeez, Lewis, like that's intense. It's very intense. So we lose 4 Airgudus on that. That is kind of to be expected, I think, at this point, though. And we have to start weighing that concept of, is it worth doing our little air raids if we're going to get countered like this? Because we talked about this a while back in the what's the efficiency scenario, right? Our air raids are designed to give us an advantage in the raiding situation by setting him back on the number of raiders that he has, but it's not permanent, whereas our losses in Airgudus are permanent. So whether that's efficient or not, I'm not sure yet. We had a pretty good blood hunting turn, and then we have a whole host of attacks. Let's go through them. We won in Norfangs with Simple Raid. We bested a bunch of Vampire Lords with our own Vampire Lord and a bunch of Storm Demons. Very cool. We lost White Forest. We got run over in Ross. We got hit in Defaros. A decently sized little undead raiding party with some Vampire Lords and a Lich and a Wraith Lord and everything, against just a random mishmash of stuff. We got hit in Cloud Breakers by another, again, group. High Magus, Raksharaja, Vampire Lord, Wraith Lord, bunch of Thralls. We, with a group of Vampire Lords and Fiends of Darkness, took Caves of Madness. We got hit in Cloudcap Spires and lost. Got hit in Range of Shadow and lost. We were beaten in Wood of Many Paths with 3 Ishibs and a bunch of Thralls by, honestly, very little. Kind of surprised that we lost this. I guess it's the scenario of, like, you know, these Thralls have pitchforks, very, very low attack pitchforks, but it's piercing damage, and the undead have pierce resistance, so this only does half damage to the undead. So we're looking at 8 damage versus, you know, shitty protection still more often than not, but against swarms of undead, they can't really do anything. I was hoping the 6 water elementals would do kind of more there, but it looks like that is just not the case. Well, I mean, actually, so I guess here's the other thing is I just wasn't expecting. We could probably have taken this amount of undead, but I wasn't expecting 3 Vampire Lords and 2 Liches. Maybe I should have been expecting them. I don't remember if that was what was there last time, but kind of unfortunate, right? We just didn't send enough. 3 Liches in Sinkhole Swamp. We counter raid there. Our forces are beaten. This is super unfortunate. We have 5 Vampire Lords, a Raksharaja, a Kokithiid, and an Archdevil versus, which one is this? Tart Tart 19. And she is... Get out, Fire Shield, Phoenix Fire, Mist Form. Oh, she gets slapped by Igarak, the Archdevil, with this flambeau. Just puts the hurt on her. But she does get Phoenix Pyre up beforehand, so she explodes away. Igarak shows back up. She's taking out chunks of undead. Alright, she has routed. And now Igarak can't get in. So... and then we get hit with a control undead. Yeah. Yep. Well, that is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Did she actually kill 870 units there? That doesn't really seem right. That seems like a very bizarre number. .24 attack. That guy. 46 damage. He doesn't have... He does have quickness. I wonder if the Kokithiid put quickness on him. Probably. That makes sense. I mean, every time she explodes, she does take out a hefty chunk, but this definitely doesn't look like 870 units killed, so that seems incorrect to me. But whatever. Shit, where were we at? Alright, so we lose that Titan, unfortunate. We get hit in the Womb by a Lich and a Wraith Lord, lose there. We get hit in Feral Woods by a Lich, lose there. We take the Wetlands, we get hit in Belagor by 3 Vampire Lords, but we still have the Fortress. Get hit in Sciatica. We win. Oh no, we lose in Andoria. Another Titan up against Vampire Lords. We do kill one of the Vampire Lords, but then we rout. We rout successfully, though. We take Anglovania. We defeat forces in Grainport. 242 forces attacking the Fiends of Darkness. So this is us attacking Grainport with this big old group. So let's actually watch this. This is the throne. And this is just what he's got patrolling here, you know? So, we've just got so many flyers. Watch that again real quick. Because the front wave, right? What's really important is the flyers landing on the back wave. And what's really, really important is this guy, the Raksharaja over. So when the second force goes up in the air, at first we're kind of like, uh-oh. Oh, this is going to be bad. But they land in such great force over here. They annihilate the entirety of the back row, except for that Raksharaja. Then they land on the Raksharaja, who lives for a little bit. And then he's dead. But even if it weren't for them in the... I don't think it would have mattered as far as like the front line goes. Because we did have several Vampire Lords here and Liches. We actually mustered a large amount of undead very quickly. Regardless, though, that's a pretty good victory for us. Pop a bunch of undead, lose very little for it. Damn. Keep accidentally hitting the thing. We lose in Delca. This one is unfortunate. Watch this. I was pretty confident about this one. We have a number of Ishibs here. We have a pretty strong Tartarian. Unfortunately, he has a Frostbrand, so he's not going to deal with the undead super well. Talked about that at length. And these guys... Here's the name of the game. Here is the name of probably the rest of the game. And that is Rigor Mortis. And that is... I just don't know what to do about Rigor Mortis. I just don't know what to do. In big battles, I just don't know what to do about Rigor Mortis. Because at this point, most of his units, most of his army, does not care about Rigor Mortis. His demons do. But, honestly, his Raksharajas and things like that, they account for significantly less of his armies than other things do at this point. So, Rigor Mortis goes up, and now it means we have no ability to come out of our fatigue, which means we cannot support by casting holy spells or anything like that. Eventually, our Ishibs are cut down. And this, yeah, I was going to say, this is with Liquid Body. The thing is, again, right, like, if they were not fatigued out by this point, they would be unfatigued and they'd be casting holy spells. They'd be banishing a lot of these undead. But Rigor Mortis just... It fixes that. And when his armies are 90% undead and my armies are... You know, I have undead in my armies, but not 90% undead. It's just a scenario of like, well, there's just not a whole lot I can do about that. So we do lose this. Eventually our Tartarian just walks away. But that is a pain in the ass. Big pain in the ass. We lose in Karnag. We win in Cold Hollows. We win in Troll Peaks. We lose in Ivanmore. We win in Alluvia versus a Lich. 2 Liches versus 1. We lose Ultima Typhia. We lose in Erd. We win in Black Alps. We win in Behemoth's Rest. We win in Gladewood. We win in Eal. We lose in Wick. We win in Misty Bog. We capture the forest, the fortress from Hinnom. And I don't even know why we're watching this. There's like nothing here. He pops in, he gets... The golem just gets hit by the fucking mass that is the Storm Demon wave, so... Let's watch that again. It's actually fun to watch all of the Storm Demons fire in concert. Storm Demons are really good. I should have started doing Storm Demons way earlier. I think if I had, then we might be at a better place. Here we are. Okay. So we take Misty Bog. Very good. And I don't know if I just let my Astral Domes fall in Agartha or if I didn't put them up in Agartha. I can't remember. But he finally gets a Black Plague through on Agartha, and I also have spoken at length about how I feel about Black Plague and the fact that it kills 50% of the population in the target location. I feel like that is too much in comparison to what your options are, right? Like, The dome spells are some of the only ways that you can protect yourselves, and the dome spells are very mixed in results, right? So it feels bad trying to defend against things like this, and then it's so effective, right? Like we're so far into the game, to lose so much population, knowing that you only get like 3% per turn. Like it's so punitive, and it's funny to think that these kinds of tools exist for. He's not even a pop kill nation, but exist for things like pop kill nations, right? I'm surprised that something like this is so effective. But anyways, at this point in the game, we're less reliant on our population and our actual income. Don't get me wrong, it's still important to us, so this still really sucks. But a combination of I just don't care anymore is one thing, but then the other thing is it doesn't matter as much to us as long as we have enough coin to pay for what we have, and we don't start losing people, then we're probably fine. So that was in Agartha. Unexpected event in Neotha, we gained some unrest. In Olentova, we gain more unrest. We foresee a disaster. Cool. We're under siege in Belagor. I accidentally dropped a Tartarian on Moonsea. Bad. We have started to destroy the fort in Grainport. And yeah, we got some stuff. So, let's talk about what's happening this turn. We've got a lot of movements. Most of these are raiding around, trying to counter raid things, right? Knock people off Belagor here with some vampires. Send Tart 30 over into Carrion. Trying to guess some raids here in Sinkhole Swamp. So trying to reinforce with more liches, and then also just trying to counter raid stuff. So got a vampire and a tart going that way, etc, etc. Trying to reinforce Delka a little bit. But the big story is over here in the west. This is the really big story. We don't have that much counter raiding or raiding going on in the in the Mictlan Pangea area as we have been here recently. And that is partially because so much of our focus this turn is going into Grainport, because it is at this point that I see an opportunity. We have just dropped a bunch of Fiends of Darkness here. We have NCs here, and he knows both of these things. The fortification is not popped this turn, though, so it's not a do-or-die desperation thing. But there's a lot of stuff here that if he wants to get it off, he's going to have to commit a fair amount to get rid of it. The question is, where does that fair amount come from? Probably from Ultima Typhia, right? Potentially from Omicria, etc. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to send everything that we can to Grainport in order to respond to him potentially trying to knock us off of Grainport. The hope being is that we will catch out whatever he sends with kind of an overwhelming force, and then he might not have enough to send on the next turn when we've actually popped the fort. Right? And part of the reason why I've decided to do this is I've talked about this, is I'm getting fatigued. He's fatigued me out in the game, honestly. the Lanka player has done a great job, and I just don't want to be playing this game anymore. I just don't want. So I'm looking for a way out. I am still trying to win, obviously, right? But also, the biggest thing was taking Misty Bog and realizing that we can move this entire force of Storm Demons, not our Fiends of Darkness, mind you, but just the Storm Demons, because they have super high map move. They have 32 map move. So basically, the extra 2 map move versus the 20 of the Fiends of Darkness is what lets us get to Grainport from Misty Bog. So coming to the realization that I could drop 143 Storm Demons on Grainport this turn, I was like, oh, shit. I might actually have a chance here. Because with 150 plus Fiends of Darkness, with nearly 150 Storm Demons, then everything else that I am sending here, which includes an Apkalu and a bunch of Anzus, right, from Realm of Silence. This is a big deal. Big deal. So I am cloud trapezing a whole bunch of people. Mostly Ergudus, but also Ugalus, right? And then we are reinforcing as many things as we can to Grainport itself, but also into the surrounding area, right? Taking Sanafe, taking Chibia, with some vampires, in order to hopefully, if we fail here, reinforce our chances of retreating successfully. And we're also cloud trapezing. I think I did the count for this. Oh, I think I didn't do the count at all, so that's my bad. Probably not gonna have correct figures on this. Also, I didn't tell you guys the numbers on our rating and counter rating stuff is working with all of the air raids and stuff like that. We are up to we won 18 versus 20 this turn, where if you think a couple turns ago we were at like closer to 12 to 20. So we are definitely getting to that point to where our rating is becoming more competitive with Lanka. But it's at a huge cost. So ultimately, I am cloud trapezing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 commanders from Realm of Silence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 from Villia. We're astral traveling this Apkalu 4. We have invested a crazy amount of air gems. Our air gems supply is run dry. We are stealthing in NCs closer to be able to hopefully try to support into Grainport if we need to. We are stealthing in a Enkidu Shaman in order to try to do the same thing, right? Because if I take Sanafe, if I take Chibia, if I take Ivanmore, then I might be able to reach Grainport. And again, the plan being is this turn, he tries to knock us off with a decently sized force, and the amount that we've reinforced with takes him by surprise, and we wipe out a whole bunch of units. And then the next turn, he tries to cobble together everything else that he can to throw at us, plus magic phase attacks and things like that. And the hope is that it's just he doesn't expect us to commit as much as we have committed. I don't know that this is going to work. If it does work, great, we win the game. If it doesn't work, obviously, hopefully we have the ability to retreat from either Chibia or Sanafe or something like that. Or if we are unsuccessful and we just can't retreat, we're wiped out. Hopefully what we do is we take so much out of him, right, that in the next few turns we hit Javal Kish, we hit Sleepy Wolds, and we win at one of those, right? So this is the play. And I don't know that it's going to work, right? But this is the next 10 turns or so, is try to win in Grainport, drain as much as we can there, but again, we're draining ourselves. Try to win in Javal Kish and Sleepy Wolds if we fail in Grainport. And if we fail in all 3 locations, then it's probably game, because we probably will have expended so much of our stuff that we just won't be able to resist Lanka at that point. And at that point, if I lose all of this, I will probably just reach out to Lanka and be like, hey, I think you win this point. We can play it out if you want, and I'll be more than willing to play it out. And I will play it out to my best ability. But at that point, I think it will probably be done. So it's a big deal. Big deal. I'm suspicious about this Grainport maneuver, but I think, right, like, I think if we catch him out, if he sends, right, a big stack with a bunch of maze, even if he sends a crazy huge force, I think the fact that we have all of these Storm Demons, we have all these Anzus, these guys are so badass, right? And because of our mixture of units, right? We've got everything in these armies. It's just coming in at not perfect times, right? But if we have a bad turn next turn, or like a bunch of our Oogalus get hit in the Cloud Trippies, or like our this guy, our Ukalu 4 or Apkalu 4, right? If he gets hit, where's he at? See, he's bringing in more Anzus, right? If he gets, okay. So here's the other thing: he's astrally traveling with all of these units, right? So like, if he gets hit by a horror and he fails, right, then that could be super duper bad for us. Well, I mean, I think if he gets hit by a horror, he still will have transported all of these units, but him not being there, I guess, he's just casting Doom. But anyways, this is a big deal. This is a huge investment. It could be the game in the next few turns, or it could be us losing a massive amount of our units. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.